Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we hope the injuries that Matt Hardy has sustained over the past 2 weeks have broken him. It's Lost the Midcard. Here we are. We are going to talk NXT Takeover Portland, another tremendous edition of Takeover. Surely the ending had a lot of people talking. We're going to dive into that here first thing. Talk about a very boring week otherwise for the WWE as they head into the super shit show that is a week from Thursday. And then we got some AEW to talk as well. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to everything go to our pinned post on Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. We also will share from time to time some of the great tweets from the wrestling world as well. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawF Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing, my friend.
And are you afraid? Are you afraid that we are getting Marty Part 2 with Matt Hardy? Or
I mean, I know he's not re-signing with WWE.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as long as he's happy and he's creatively freedom wherever he ends up, I just know wherever he goes, he's not going to be treated like shit, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah,
because it's nice to not be treated like shit from the people that you care about.
Exactly, and even an NWA run would be entertaining. Somewhere that we have access to see him. Right?
He works very well. Him and Corgan worked really well together. They were, they were hand in hand with the whole Broken Universe stuff, and Billy was very much behind that. I could see him there. I could see him in Ring of Honor. I could see him in AEW. I mean, heaven forbid, I could even see a situation that would put him back with Impact. But, I want him in AEW.
Yeah,
so fingers crossed and just hope for the best.
We all do. As always, our other co-host, he is on the Twitter at No One Like D, Mr. Darryl Bullock. Darryl, how you doing?
Fuck Joe Koff.
Fuck Joe Koff. Yes.
I'm good, man.
Wow.
Exciting takeover. I'm talking about. I got up out of my chair and actually clapped.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Let's we'll dig into that right away. Then before we go into Dynamite, we have some firsthand news by Darryl. He was able to jump on the conference call today with Cody Rhodes, so we'll discuss that. But first, let's talk some Takeover. NXT Takeover Portland happened here Sunday. Yes, on Sunday, as now they are free from the WWE with the outside of WrestleMania. Of course, that's always a tradition to have Takeover the night before WrestleMania. So that's your one exception. But here's the first time they have broken free on a Sunday, and already gave us something more. Gave us one extra match than we normally get. We normally get 5 matches on a Takeover card, but this time we got 6. So it was good. We got to see every title defended, as well as an extra women's feud thrown in there. So that was very nice. And we kicked things off with Poppy singing. She had the theme song for Takeover Portland, and so her band performed to kick things off. And then we led with Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and this was a marquee nominee for Feud of the Year in NXT. Pretty crazy how something that wasn't even for a title captivated us, and now this time it is for a title, the North American Championship, and these guys get what they deserve, a match on TakeOver, and boy, they did not disappoint, did they, guys?
No, potential match of the year, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
to me, it was the best end on the show.
Oh my God,
And it wasn't even close.
that somersault off the apron onto Keith Lee sitting in a chair. Holy fuck, that was insane.
Yeah.
That was goddamn insane.
Those two spirit bombs fucked me up.
Man, I was blown away. These guys, they got 20 minutes. That was pretty damn cool. The end of the match, Dominic hit an avalanche Spanish fly. That's a lot of humanity. That's a lot of humanity coming off that top rope. That was another one of those great matches.
Just the athleticism of those guys, for the most part. Look how tall Dijakovic is. Look how big Keith Lee is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna work well together. I think just because of they can take care of each other because they're big enough to take care of each other. Whereas if it was someone smaller, they're not gonna take. They're not gonna have Keith Lee doing a daggone plancha or a senton on him or nothing like that without dying.
Yeah. After that Spanish fly, Dijakovic tried to get Lee up for the Feast Your Eyes, but selling the back injury, he could not do it, and Lee came back with the Big Bang Catastrophe, gets the win, retains the title in a tremendous 20-minute match, probably the best match of the night. I would say the best match of the night. But I mean, hey, it was unlike a lot of things WWE with NXT. That's a high bar, not a low bar. So
yeah. They never disappoint at all. And you open with that match. I literally after the end of that match, I felt sorry for whoever was following it.
I saw so many people, prominent and not prominent in the wrestling industry, on Twitter saying, "Yeah, follow that,"
Sheesh.
And
they should have opened with the tag title match.
Yeah.
Well, you know how WWE is, especially with Triple H. You know you're going to open with the best match.
But H normally does more often than not open a takeover with the tag team title match.
Yeah, he does.
And I feel this should have been yet another time that they should have done it because it was, to me, as good as the rest of the show was up until like the final 5 minutes of the show, which we'll talk about when we get there, which I didn't like at all. I felt we got the absolute best match of the show right out of the gate, and nothing else was able to get up to that level throughout the rest of the night.
Yeah, it was weird having both Undisputed Era matches back to back. So you're hearing that theme song back to back, and they
should have spaced it out.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Like I would have at least put the women in between, that women's title match in between.
Yeah, something in between, not to have the last. I figured the women's title match, with the way things shook out, I figured the women's title match was going to go second to last, and to our surprise, it was Undisputed Era losing all their gold at the end, the last two matches. Next up is. Or no, never mind.
They didn't.
Half of them, 2/3 of them, 2/3 of them lost their gold. Sorry. I was so certain Cole was going to lose his gold. I still had it in my mind.
I was too.
Oh, I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Street Fight, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox. In terms of, I mean, we didn't get much Street Fight where they went all around the area, but in terms of a no disqualification match, I thought these two ladies did a hell of a job.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm sorry to cut you off, JB, but I really haven't watched too much of Dakota Kai or Tegan Nox.
Yeah,
but actually, outside of Keith Lee and Donovan Dijakovic, this was my favorite match only because they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
they beat the living fuck out of each other.
Just like
I would put this as my third favorite behind the tag title match. I go Lee and Dijakovic, I go tag title, and I go with the Street Fight.
The only reason I said that is because I haven't seen much of Tegan Nox or Dakota Kai, so they surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the finish was so bad.
Yeah, it's like nobody
I didn't
knows.
like it.
Nobody knows
Well,
who. I mean, nobody knows who Raquel Gonzalez is. I mean, she's not a big household name. Sure, she was
Shit,
in
I
the
thought they
main.
said Giant Gonzalez at first.
Oh God.
it would have been like, dude, you had one job. Don't fuck up the spot.
Oh, that table spot was brutal.
And
Yeah.
you fucked up the spot. You know, like, you didn't have anything else to do
Just throw it through the
other than
table.
to make sure you didn't fuck up that spot, and you fucked up the spot.
Yeah, a lot of people are like trying to go to her defense and say, "Oh, Tegan Knox is so light she wouldn't break through that table." Dude, that thing is so gimmicked. A toothpick will break through that
Yeah,
table.
they literally break the
She
bitch
did-
for you.
She did not toss
No, she
Knox far
shorted.
enough.
No, she just
Yeah,
she
she
short.
shorted it.
She just pushed her. You have
Yeah,
to
it
toss.
was
She
it was
pushed her.
it was a really weak toss, and she didn't make the distance. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like they done fucked up.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and honestly, if that was my debut, I'd want to go crawl into a corner.
yeah.
So, and I know technically it's not her debut. I know she was in both Mae Young Classics, but they've already changed her first name and they've given her new gear and they're trying to
What was her? Was she Reina at first?
like Reina Gonzalez or whatever. And she was
Okay.
wearing she had like the chaps on and it was doing like
Yep.
the cowboy gimmick or whatever.
Okay.
So when I first saw her, I thought it was Sonya Deville.
And I did too.
I was like, what the fuck's Sonya Deville doing here? I'm like, oh wait, it's not Sonya.
Yeah,
That's
she's
not Sonya Deville.
yeah,
Like,
she's
Sonya Deville wouldn't have fucked up the spot.
yeah,
Not even.
I just want to point that out.
yeah, Raquel, good friends with NXT champion Rhea Ripley. Yeah, that was we don't know much about her. You repackage her, so yeah, obviously it's a new debut. I mean, they did it with Punishment Martinez when they rebranded him. They've done it countless times in NXT, making it their official debut. So, but yeah, but great stuff by Knox and Decay. I thought Knox would win, not knowing that Decay had something up her sleeve. I thought maybe Knox would get the final say in the feud. But obviously, I think the brighter star going forward is going to be Dakota Kai. But now, obviously, it's definitely going to be Dakota Kai. Next up was Gargano and Balor. This was tremendous. But Matt, you didn't put it in your top three. Why didn't you put it in your top three? Too long for you, or?
What?
Matt, you said you didn't have it in your top three.
Which match didn't I have in my top three?
Balor and Gargano.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, was it too long?
To be perfectly honest, I don't know what it was. The match just didn't click for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't interested in the match at all.
Yeah.
And I can't even begin to tell you why, because I like Balor and I like Gargano. But to me, I could not get myself to care about the match like I cared about the two matches that were on prior.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was because of what it followed?
I mean, maybe. I mean that's totally possible. But it was pretty. It was kind of just there, and I know I saw a lot of people online raving about it afterwards.
No, I had the same
sentiments.
sentiments.
I was just kind of like, eh. To me, that might have been my least favorite match on the show, to be perfectly honest with you. It's probably a toss-up between that and Ripley and Belair.
Yeah, I don't know. I
those are probably my two least favorite Those are probably my two least favorite matches of the show. Even though the last 5 minutes of the main event I absolutely hated with a passion.
I thought Balor and Gargano was tremendous, but it did go almost 30 minutes, and it wasn't your main event. I guess that's not a bad thing, but I think maybe that's what may turn some people off. I thought it was a tremendous match, though. I haven't really thought about ranking these matches. I know what my favorite was, and it was the first match. But I thought, beyond that, I didn't really rank the matches after that, but I thought this alone, just these two guys, I thought it was just a tremendous battle. It may have gone on too long, but it was still, to me, it was a tremendous battle. Darryl, what are your thoughts?
I think that when it comes down to the talent, Finn Balor and then Johnny Gargano, like we're used to seeing Finn Balor in wars against Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens or Nakamura, and we're used to seeing Gargano in with against Ciampa and Adam Cole. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Rob
Yeah,
Van
we got
Dam's wife.
RVD's wife on Impact right now. So
Hold on. I'm gonna try to speak real quick. Real quick.
she don't look happy though.
I don't give a shit.
There.
But no, real talk. Like we're used. I guess our expectations are at a certain height. And when you put those two together, it's like you want the expectations of the match to supersede anything we've seen before. So, to me personally, that's how I felt about it. You know, like I wanted to see like a takeover New Orleans Gargano or I can't think a Brooklyn. I mean, or takeover London Finn type match. And for me, it was just like regular. I expected it. Just nothing I haven't seen before.
Yeah, and look, I'm not even saying the match was bad.
It wasn't. It just
Yeah,
the expectations were just set too high. The bar was too high.
maybe. Yeah, I mean that might have been what it was because I left the match going you know, and that's really how I felt when it was over. It was just a resounding So you know,
We've seen this movie before. That's just
yeah.
me.
Oh, speaking of, we've seen the movie before. We're gonna be talking about that before this is done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I've got plenty to say.
Roddy Strong in the Undisputed Era, interviewed by Kathy Kelly, who is making her final appearance with WWE after 4 years. Unfortunately, sad to see her go. She asked for her release, moving on, wants to do other things, but I believe Triple H said it on the post show. The door's open for her to return. So then we get the women's title match. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair coming out with a great outfit on her. She had a robe that said Black History in the Making. It was also
I
written.
stood for that one.
It was also written all over her gear as well. Very cool get up, wasn't it, Darryl?
Yeah, sure was. Let me ask you guys a question. Me and my cousin, who Matt knows, had and had a thought. Had a question? Do you think that Bianca Belair would have won this match if it wasn't close to Mania and WWE wasn't trying to hype up Rhea and Charlotte?
No, and I'll tell you why. Rhea's title reign hasn't been nearly long enough yet.
Okay.
Like she just won this title in December. I truly don't believe if the match with Charlotte was happening or not, especially with Takeover Tampa being like a little over a month away now. There was no way I saw this title coming off of Ripley, no matter what.
Do you want the unpopular opinion?
Sure.
What always happens in WWE is they push people because of the timing. They did it with Sonya Deville during Pride Month. They're doing it here with Bianca Belair during Black History Month. I think.
But can you really call it a push when you're losing the title match?
Hell, you're in the title match at least. So
let me ask you this.
Oh yeah, I mean I can't recall any time Sonya Deville got a real push either. So touche.
Well, let me ask you.
But I mean, she was really seemed to really be getting that push in June or whatever month. I can't remember. Well, I think it's June, and then just I called it. She basically disappeared off the face of the earth again.
Well, let me ask you this: even with that, like who else on the roster was big enough to even challenge Rhea at that point besides Bianca?
Oh, yeah, it's very broken.
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
the women's roster in NXT right now is deeper than probably any brand in professional wrestling right now.
And I know
there's plenty of women that they could use to challenge Ripley. I would have said at Takeover Tampa, but clearly they're not going to do that now. They're not going to have her defend the title Saturday night and then go in on Sunday to face Charlotte. They're not going to do that.
Right.
So
yeah, but
So
here's the thing: there's talent there, but they've not been built up at all. Candice LeRae has not been
and
built well.
that's what I was going to say. There's not enough talent.
Io
up enough to even do it.
Shirai's hurt right now. You know,
I don't know. I think there's plenty of women that they could have lined up with Ripley at Takeover and have been fine.
I mean, they've rebuilt the women's division very well after getting decimated many times.
I mean, really, you don't have to look any further. Just go back and watch the Battle Royal from like 3 or 4 weeks ago to look at the immense amount of talent that NXT's women's division has right now. To me, it's better than any women's division in any company right now. And like I think the only company that comes close is probably Impact.
Yeah.
No other, like ROH's division's trash.
Mm-hmm. AEW's is not big enough yet.
AEW's is they're trying. Like, I'll give them credit for trying, but it's still a work in progress over there.
Mm-hmm.
WWE's main roster division would be good if they just combined Raw and SmackDown's rosters together.
Mm-hmm.
And let the women go back and forth between both shows.
They keep pushing the same people.
Being split like they are, you have to look no further than that god awful women's elimination chamber for Raw
That's so
that
stupid.
shouldn't even be taking place.
No.
As all the reason you need to know about the lack of depth on their brands right now. Like, honestly, if they wanted to do a women's elimination chamber,
It had to be SmackDown.
it should have. Look, they could have done it for SmackDown. Or they could have done it for or they could have put the women's tag titles on the line in the chamber again.
Yeah.
Those are the two options that they should have gone with. Like, everybody knows Shayna Baszler is fighting Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Literally,
to put her in that.
Elimination Chamber, one of my favorite match types. But this match doesn't make me care to watch this match at all. Because I already know before the bell even rings that Shayna Baszler is going to win.
Right. So let me ask you this right quick. This is to both of you. With Shayna, we obviously know that Shayna is going to win the chamber and challenge Becky.
Yep.
We know Rhea Ripley is fighting Charlotte.
Yep.
I have my idea on who is going to fight Bayley.
Well, we said it on the show last week. We both agreed it's going to be Sasha Banks turning on Bayley and going babyface.
Right. Well, let me ask you this question. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I really don't. Because of if you look at the NXT, the women's roster, the top 3 to 4 women in the past, let's say 6 to 8 months, have been Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, maybe Toni Storm, give or take, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai. Am I incorrect? You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, what if, and I think she's ready, what if you put Bayley with Bianca at Mania?
Well, here's the thing. There are rumblings.
They're not going to do that, and I'll tell you why.
There's rumblings that Bianca is going to be possible. It might be a triple threat at Mania.
That's what I'm saying. Put her in the match.
I think that's more of a pipe dream than anything else.
Oh.
And at the same token, I'm telling y'all right now, they ain't moving. If Bianca ever gets moved up to the main roster or the Raw or SmackDown or whatever the fuck you want to call it now, she's gonna be on the same brand her husband's on. She's gonna be on Raw.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're not gonna put her on the opposite brand of where her husband's working.
Yeah.
Right.
So unless they move the Street Profits to Friday nights, out of nowhere for like no explainable reason, Bianca's not facing Bayley at WrestleMania. But look, if you just take a look at the SmackDown talent, the way the women are being built over there, it's head over shoulders better than what we're seeing on Raw right now. Because like I just complained about the women's chamber for Raw. Let's say they did a SmackDown chamber for Bayley's opponent. You've got Carmella. You have Naomi. You have hopefully Sasha Banks if she's cleared. You have
Dana Brooke.
You have Lacey. You have fuck Dana Brooke.
Oh no,
you have,
she's improved.
You have
man.
you
I
have
just stopped pushing her.
Lacey Evans. And then you
Natty.
pick of 4 more women to put in. Natty's
Is-
on Raw,
Is
dude.
Natty on Raw? Okay.
Then she just bought freaking Kairi Sane Monday night. Keep up. And then you have 4 other women that you could easily insert into that chamber between Bliss, Cross, DeVille, and Rose. Like, don't tell me that their division isn't deeper. And what the fuck brands the Iconics on? Because they've pretty much fallen off the face of the damn earth.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even.
You
I
know,
think
it's just
Raw,
like,
but I don't know.
you take 6 women from SmackDown and you put them in there, and I'm gonna have a lot more. I'm really not 100% sure.
I would
who's
love
going to win this and face Bailey, comparable to the bullshit that we're getting from
I
Raw.
think
I would love to see a SmackDown Women's Chamber with Alexa and Nikki and Naomi and Carmella. That's 4
Well,
right
yeah,
there.
we would, but
Yeah, like I said, you throw
And
Lacey
Lacey,
Lacey
yeah,
Evans and
that's
Sasha Banks.
entertainment for you. Yes.
but you know,
And you legitimately, like, you think Sasha's gonna win, but you can make an argument for every single one of those women
and it's
to
gonna,
walk out of there challenging Bailey at WrestleMania. Whereas you can't make an argument for anybody in the Raw chamber besides freaking Shayna.
Yeah,
And that's really fucking piss poor booking by WWE, because they're not gonna give us 2 women's elimination chambers.
no.
Well, let me ask you this
You
though.
know,
Like,
we're gonna get this one, and it's gonna suck because we already freaking know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and here's the
like-
thing, Vince. Here's the thing, Vince just has this pipe. You know, this oh, we gotta have Baszler debut in a cage because she used to fight in the UFC.
Yeah, well, here's a drop of knowledge for your dumb old ass.
right.
Last time Baszler stepped into the cage, she got her ass beat by Rhea Ripley in November.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so her track record in a cage in professional wrestling really isn't top notch either.
No, Vince is that's how Vince is thinking, you know, and he, of course, obviously he just doesn't watch NXT, so to him,
Watch the XFL.
yeah,
I've actually been enjoying the XFL. I'm not gonna lie.
it's not bad. Saturday was a big snooze fest, but Sunday was a lot better. But yeah, it makes no fucking sense to have this Raw women. It makes 0 sense, and
You should have did it on fucking SmackDown. You should have just said, "Okay, I bit Becky in the back of the neck. She wants to fight me. I'll put the title. She'll put the title. You leave it at
yeah,
that."
you did not need
Yeah,
elimination chamber for this.
No, like, absolutely not. Like, Becky should already want to face Shayna, which obviously she does. So, I mean, that should have been all. Honestly, it should have taken to make the match right there, and they could have had Baszler just tearing through people on the Raw roster leading up to WrestleMania, like kill Lana, kill Zelina Vega, kill Natty. You know, I mean, and like, no one's gonna care because none of them are fucking over anyway. Like,
I think when it comes to SmackDown,
the women's division on Raw right now is fucking putrid.
when it comes to SmackDown and who's going to fight Bailey, it's going to come down to the eye test, and it's going to come down to the eye test of who the fans will believe can actually submit, like formally can beat.
If Sasha's cleared, I think it's going to be Sasha.
Yeah.
But if it's not, I mean,
the only other person to
you
me,
can literally name any of those other women. Carmella had a great match with her last week.
Bailey cheated.
I think Naomi's going to have a great match with her at Super Showdown, because I think Naomi's going to win on Friday.
But
you got
to think WWE
Lacey
logic,
Evans,
though, man.
Lacey Evans is already, still being, talked about.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got Bliss, you got Cross, you got Rose, you got DeVille.
There's
I
only
mean,
one person.
there's a lot of freaking the women's roster on SmackDown head and shoulders better than Raw right now, because let's face it, Raw right now, it's Becky, it's Charlotte, and it's everybody else.
Yeah, it just it makes no sense, and be a lot more drama on the SmackDown side.
They could really use Ronda Rousey back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other person I can see outside of Sasha, and Sasha is my pick, to fight Bailey, is Bliss. That's it. Because she missed Mania last year. That's one thing. You know what I mean? So she kind of would deserve, air quotes, a Mania match for at least a title. It is what it is at this point. But anybody else after, I love Carmella, I love Naomi, but yeah, Am I actually going to believe that Nikki Cross or Carmella is going to beat Bayley at Mania? No, I'm not.
Well, after the match that Carmella had on SmackDown, I mean, she's reasserted herself back into the title. She had a hell of a showing on Friday.
It's
Oh, no,
probably
she did.
it might have been Carmella's best match I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
she did. I told what I used to tell you, Matt, back in the day. Mella is money, brother.
No, she wasn't back then.
Oh yeah, she was pennies.
Yeah. And now she's with Corey Graves. Yay.
Whoopee.
Rhea Ripley.
That does not increase her value.
No. It holds her back. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, pretty good match, but for the
finish fell flat.
Well, the second straight. This is the second, maybe third straight, at least second straight NXT Women's Title match where there's been no drama at the end. There's been no kick out of a finisher, no great near fall. I'm starting to wonder why are they not booking. Why is there a lack of drama in these NXT Women's Championship matches? I'm baffled by that right now.
Yeah, the ending. It came out of nowhere, and
Yeah,
I was just like, "Wow, that's it." Okay,
yeah, it was.
Don't get me wrong. I was happy with the result because I want to see Ripley and Charlotte.
Yeah.
But the ending was just so flat. I just kind of like, oh.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't the smoothest riptide either off the.
I expected Bianca get her foot on the ropes and the match continue and just nothing happened.
Name the last time a women's title match actually had that type of drama.
Yeah, I
probably the Kairi Sane Baszler feud.
Yeah.
Was that the which one was that?
Oh, they feuded for a good 6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't see enough people talking about that there's a lack of drama in women's championship matches. I mean, obviously we're gonna get it at WrestleMania, and I'm actually excited that it's Charlotte and Rhea. I just think it's a new dynamic. I don't know who's gonna win though. I mean,
Rhea's winning.
Rhea's winning that. You already know that, bro.
They're not moving Charlotte back to NXT.
Fuck no.
Come on, JV.
No.
I don't know who's. I want to slap you.
They're losing in that war. They're losing in that war.
Yeah, but Charlotte didn't move the needle when they brought her over there the other week.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
gonna take a lot to help them. Yeah, I don't know. At least Triple H could tell Vince no if Vince says put the title on her. He's like, yeah, fuck you, old man.
I mean, he'll tell him just move her up, just move her up. That'll shut Trips up.
Yeah. NXT tag titles was tremendous. Broserweights, Undisputed Era. And I think I said it to Darryl last week on the show. It's like this was I don't think the NXT management expected these guys to gel as well as they did, and now they're tag team champions, and it's tremendous. They're working so well together. I really hope they don't, I really hope they don't do the typical they lose the titles and Dunn turns on Riddle. I smell that coming because I know Dunn could be a great heel. I smell that coming.
I wouldn't even think Dunn would be the heel.
Really? That'd be kind of cool to see Riddle as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about that match is the entire final 10 minutes had me flip-flopping on my opinion on who the fuck I thought was going to win.
Oh my god, it was insane.
I knew the Broserweights were going to win that.
It was dude, when Riddle, when they went back and forth with the misfire and Riddle hit the spear on Dunn, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck, they're going to fight and Dunn's going to be like, motherfucker, 2 people have screwed me now out of my Dusty Cup, championship, win type thing.
Yeah, they did that to swerve you a little bit. The one thing that got me was when they actually hit Chasing the Dragon.
Yeah. I thought that was a good near fall. See, there was drama there that the women didn't have. There's drama right there.
Desperately used even half of those half of the last 5 to 10 minutes of that tag match.
That end sequence was beautiful, man. I loved it.
That match sucked me in. That's why I got to put it right up there with the opening contest, and why I feel it would have been a great opening contest to open the show with. Because
yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Lee and Dijakovic was dope, but I would have separated the Undisputed Era's matches a bit, and I would have put them in the beginning, and that way you could have done like a segment like the middle of the show with like Adam Cole like standing around the Era all title lists, and he's like, "Guys, I can't freaking lose this. We can't leave with none of the gold."
That's why we bring in the help of Johnny Gargano.
I have to win this I have to retain this title at all costs. They could have had a great segment like that between the Era in the middle of the show
backstage.
But by putting the two matches back to back, we didn't get to see anything like that.
Because if you do that, then you could tease, is Adam Cole getting sick of these guys because they're losers, Now it's
There's a little dissension in the ranks.
Yeah, now it's gonna be, for the most part, it's gonna be happy Undisputed Era because the leader still has his title.
I have one question though. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish?
Oh, man. And I saw the best tweet about Bobby Fish. Oh, Bobby's going for that 35 to 50 demographic now because he's got put a little gray in the beard.
Shit, I would too.
Did you see his Wikipedia page for a while?
No.
My Marcho sent me a screen cap of his Wikipedia page before it got changed, and it says, "It is revealed that Bobby Fish could fry 3 fish if Bobby Fish could fry fish. When the Undisputed Era have a fish fry at Bobby Fish's home, Adam Cole becomes Adam Coleslaw, baby."
Oh no!
I almost spit out my damn drink.
Adam Coleslaw, baby. Is that shirt on Shop? I bet it is now, isn't it?
I don't know if it's on there or not. I'll go look.
How much fish could Bobby Fish fry with? Bobby Fish could have fish.
Ending our talk on the tag title, I loved the emotion, and I loved the reaction. Sometimes you don't get the greatest reaction on a title change, but I absolutely loved the reaction of Dunn and Riddle here. They looked truly happy and hugging in the ring and posing. It was a great thing to see with a title change and some great emotion there.
Yep, it's on there.
I figured. Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, baby, main event.
There's also a Bruiserweight Smoke the Competition shirt.
Wow. I think Darryl will be purchasing
There's
that
actually
one.
there are if you count the Bobby Fish shirt, there are 3 Bruiserweights t-shirts already.
Damn.
I need that smoked one.
Yeah, I'm gonna load it up right now.
They need one that they need a Riddle's gonna smoke you.
Yeah, it is a picture of a stallion and a bear driving the golf cart.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
With their hairstyle on it, with the trophy on top of it, and it says "Smoke the Competition," and the words are in like the gas tank, doing the words, but we all know what it really means. Yeah, there are 3 freaking Bruiserweight shirts already, if you count the Bobby Fish shirt.
Bro,
I like the one with the half stallion, half bear. That's a pretty cool one. You said there's one with a golf cart?
Yeah, the Smoke the Competition one.
Up there it is.
I need that one.
That shirt was not when you search Matt Riddle, it wasn't under his. Somebody on the
I just went under New Arrivals.
So somebody on the web needs to fix that on WWE Shop. Oh, that Smoke the Competition one's great. We want the smoke.
Hey.
Yeah, dude. Clearly they have plans for these guys. If they've been together for a month and they already have 3 T-shirts on WWE Shop.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, I don't think management expected it. I don't think they expected.
Well, you already know what their takeover match is. It's a rematch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just figure it's a rematch with the Era.
Yeah, it's obvious. at the end of the day, like we know what two of the three matches, we know two of the matches for Takeover Tampa is going to be already.
We know three.
Three. What's the third one?
Ciampa Gargano.
Yeah.
No, I know that.
Balor and Cole.
Well, Charlotte and that's not Takeover.
You think Balor and Cole?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
There was
he
no other
won.
reason. There was no other reason for Balor to win that match if they weren't going to go on to giving him the title shot.
And they're so 50-50 on Balor. Is he a heel with the Prince gimmick, or is he just, I wonder how they're. I really wonder.
It's going to be a heel match, but it doesn't matter because the NXT crowd loves everybody.
And we're gonna get the demon.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Mania.
No.
Hey,
he
was the Prince is when he started doing that shit. So
if he's the demon, he's automatically the face.
He's automatically the face. But you're not trying to turn the era face. You're not.
No. Though they get cheered, but at the same time,
that's the only thing. Like
they get booed for their action, so it's not like they're.
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If you look at the whole heel face pattern, I think he goes after Keith Lee, and I think Dream, after he finished with Roddy, goes after Cole.
I like that booking better, but I think I always figured, like I said in the predictions last week, I figured it's going to be Balor Cole. That's why I picked Balor to beat Gargano.
The reason I asked is because whenever you ever see Triple H book heel for a major pay-per-view, when?
Well,
I think we're about to see it.
We're going to see it.
I mean, if it is, I'm here for it. If it is, I'm here for it. But tradition just speaks on what I said earlier.
I think the North American title match is going to be up in a multi-man affair.
I hope it's a ladder match.
Like I think they might break out the ladder match or something crazy.
I'm here for it.
Fuck it.
You could put Roddy in there. You could throw Dream in there. You could throw Dijakovic in there. You can get a whole bunch of dudes, in that match, and get them all on the show.
I don't want Dream in there.
Well, okay, then where the fuck do you put Dream if Finn Balor's fighting Cole?
If I'm not putting Finn Balor with Cole.
I'm telling you. Look, I'm telling you. Think about. I hear everything you're saying. Cole, where are you putting Dream?
I hear everything you're saying.
Joe, you're not answering the question.
I don't put him anywhere at this point.
You don't even book him. You leave him off the show.
No, but you can't. I mean, if anything, because what's going on right now with him and Roddy and how serious it is with his family and everything, you put them in a street fight. You put them in a false count anywhere. That's the only thing I see.
This could carry to Takeover Tampa. Roddy,
and I can see
Roddy and
that.
Dream. Yeah,
but honestly, it should have been on this takeover if we're being technical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I couldn't believe they wouldn't add a seventh match.
Only 2 weeks of build though. That's why I think they're gonna.
2 weeks of build. If some motherfucker threw him off a truck months ago.
Well,
Shit's been built.
That's true. He just came back though, so.
Maybe. I thought it was a missed opportunity not putting it on Takeover.
Could you imagine the pop if Dream beats Cole in Tampa for the title?
Yeah, I would like to see it.
Considering Dream's history at Takeover, he doesn't win that much at Takeover. You look at Dream coming back and the work that he puts in and the pop that he gets by himself, period. I'm just saying, my booking, I would say, okay, he beats Roddy. All right, I'm going on to the next person. I'm going on to Cole. I'm going to the leader. I'm going to the head. I'm going to the head.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad booking.
Look, I'm okay with it, but I don't see it happening. No. For me, if that would have, for that to have happened, Gargano should have beaten Balor then.
True. But where would that have put Gargano though? In the next step, what would that have put him?
He could have fought Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know now is I feel sorry for the buttons on Moose's shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, heaven forbid they didn't have to turn Gargano heel at all. Maybe we could have gotten DIY against the Bruiserweights and they could have stolen the whole fucking weekend.
Oh God.
Let me tell you my thoughts on that real quick.
I fucking hate it. I'm sure we're about to talk about it.
Well, that's all we got left.
You might as well, JB, lead the way.
Well, I'll tell you what. Cole and Ciampa was really leading up to being my second favorite match of the night. It was tremendous. but the ending is a big part of your grade, and I just don't.
The final 5 minutes of this pay-per-view took this event down from an A to a B for me.
It was like Impact booking. They overbooked it.
I thought this was WCW circa 2000 booking.
When I realized
it was overbooked to hell.
When I realized that he kicked out of the fairy tale ending, I knew some bullshit was happening.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be straight bullshit. Whether the era got up and interfered, or Joe Koff came back and gave somebody the middle finger, came to WWE and pissed him. I don't know. I just knew it was gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah, it's like we had many epic matches between Gargano and Ciampa. It just why can they not be on the same?
To me, this reeks of desperation, of Triple H feeling like, well, let's go back to our most popular NXT feud ever to try to win the war against AEW. But here's the thing. We had that feud for what? 2 years?
Yeah.
3.
It was at least 4 takeovers, right?
I'm fucking done with it. I don't care who's the face. I don't care who the heel is. I never wanted to see these two wrestle each other ever again.
But where can you take it, though?
This is like the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want to see those two teams face each other again. I never wanted to see Gargano and Ciampa face each other again. I just never fucking wanted to see it.
Just like,
the fact that we're stuck with it again, I fucking hate it.
But why do you do it after you reunite them at in Houston?
Like I said, I think it reeks of Wednesday night desperation.
Yeah, and the thing is here, the thing is here, Matt's right. I mean, if NXT follows the same rules as Raw and SmackDown, there shouldn't be an automatic title rematch. That's where DIY and the Broserweights would have been just tremendous.
Amazing.
Would have been tremendous, and this is not going to win the war. Because we've seen the story.
I would honestly believe that this might turn more people off of the show than turn them onto it.
We've already seen the story.
You've seen the sailing with it.
We've seen the story.
Yeah, there's no way these two could ever put on a better match than the matches they've already had.
And they've already...
Because even near the end of their feud, we were just like, we've seen it all before already.
They've done everything possible.
So you know they're going to add a stipulation to the match, because this shit can't be won cleanly.
Loser leaves town. The old school stipulation.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No.
I mean, because Johnny Gargano already wrestled in a match like that.
It's they've done everything. They literally I mean they've had matches that left us in awe, and you're not going to be able to replicate that again.
They're going to do some dumb shit like Hell in a Cell or some stupid shit like that.
That might be the debut of Hell in a Cell in NXT.
That's the only thing I can think of, because they've done a street fight already.
Yeah.
I mean, you can think about doing a cage, but what's the purpose?
I could completely see Hell in a Cell debuting at NXT with this match. I could totally see that.
And even with Hell in a Cell, I still don't care.
I don't either, because it does.
Like I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You put these two in a bra and panties match.
My God!
They no damn stipulation you could put on these two that are gonna make me sit up and go, ooh, I'm interested in that. Like, it's just, I'm over Gargano and Ciampa.
I'll tell you what.
Make you interested, Matt?
I highly doubt it, but fire away.
Go ahead.
If Mandy Rose on a pole match.
No, Vince Russo.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth, Darryl.
Vince Russo thinks that's stupid.
I had to think about something.
I'll tell you what.
Joe Koff would turn down that idea.
Hey,
no, he wouldn't. It's gonna be great to watch, but I don't know. Maybe they do something different.
I don't think it's gonna be great to watch.
Maybe they do something different. It's gonna be a great match. I mean,
I want no parts of it, to be honest with you.
To me, I have a feeling I'm gonna feel about this match as I felt about Gargano and Balor.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's gonna end, and I'm gonna be like, eh.
Yeah.
What did I say earlier? You know what the expectations are. Your expectations are already set high. Now you expect them to exceed it, and they don't.
Yeah, because they've reached the apex.
They've done everything. They broke the ceiling.
And clearly the direction is going to be Balor beats Cole, Ciampa beats Gargano, then Ciampa beats Balor to finally win back Goldie.
One will survive.
And look, and I get what Triple H said on the conference call, so I get where he's coming from.
What did he say on that point? Say that again.
In his mind, he's envisioning Gargano and Ciampa like him and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
No.
And I just don't agree that it's on that level.
No.
The only thing is it's a different dynamic. Ciampa is face, Gargano's heel. That's the only. I mean, that's a different dynamic. So the lead ups, things may they may be a little unique, but they've done everything they can. Even a Hell in a Cell match is not gonna replicate or do anything different.
The build up on the microphone might be entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
But then the bell has to ring. And they're going to be tasked to do something that we've never seen from these two in the ring before. I just don't think it's fucking possible.
No.
And what's even worse is the fact that now, because like you said earlier, Matt, the NXT universe doesn't root for. They don't care who they root for, if it's the heel or the face. You're gonna have a split crowd. People rooting for Johnny Wrestling. You're gonna have people rooting for Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
I bet you by the time this match happens in Tampa, that Full Sail crowd will be cheering for Gargano more than they're cheering for Ciampa. Because that crowd is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That I guarantee you that, like, because they've been trying to boo Gargano for the better part of a year now. Now they get a chance where they're actually supposed to boo him, and I bet you they're gonna fucking cheer him.
What happened when Ciampa turned on Gargano, when he entered the NXT arena every day?
Oh,
they booed the shit out of him.
Best villain. He won our marquee for villain of the year.
You can't flip that. You can't. Like, Gargano's going to pretty much have to put a gun to his head and blow his brains out for that to happen.
Brian Pillman. There you go.
Pretty much. That's what's going to have to happen.
I don't know.
You're going to pretty much have to. He's going to pretty much have to, like, I hope they don't get to insult his family or just do something crazy to his family, to Ciampa's family, to actually make the crowd hate him.
I guess we just wait and see, because maybe...
Well, I don't know. If we get a crowd like we get in Washington, they'll chant for him to do it one more time.
Yeah, that was fucking pathetic. We'll get to that when we get to Raw, but Jesus Christ, yeah.
I felt like I was in a giant Full Sail arena Monday night.
Bro.
But, they did chant Johnny Failure once when Dream called him that, so, They have turned on Gargano a couple times when they shouldn't have, so that means, they'll cheer him now.
It depends on the crowd, man. You got to make people hate you.
Yeah.
Like, Ciampa made people hate him.
We don't need it, but maybe it'll be good. We don't need it, obviously. They've done everything possible.
It's the only thing that they can do with those two without moving them up to the main roster and Vince fucking them up.
Yeah, so maybe this will be good in the end when it's all said and done. We can
sit back and watch.
Yeah, we don't want it now. We already saw it all, but maybe, who knows. So,
that's probably not good for Cody.
Huh?
Isn't that the name of the guy Cody was talking about on the conference call today, who's now coming soon to Impact?
Who, Chris Bay?
Yes.
Well, you know how...
Oh, God, Cody, you look dumb.
No, he doesn't, because Impact doesn't sign people to guaranteed contracts. Like, they do, from my understanding, they do temporary, like the NBA does, like 10-day contracts.
I don't know.
That coming soon just fucked me up.
They're sure putting the old production on him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just seen that.
Yeah, dude. The fact that Cody just mentioned that guy's name today.
Yikes.
Fucking, I'm sure Impact was doing fucking cartwheels
What
after hearing that conference call this afternoon.
what context did Cody speak of him?
So Cody pretty much said that they asked about his. Let me get to my notes. They asked about his recruiting and how are they doing as far as what's the methods, I guess. And
You
Cody
talked about that to me as a question too, didn't you?
yeah. So like he pretty much, as we were on the media call today, saying that while he was listening to questions and answering questions, he was on YouTube doing in-depth research on Chris Bay. Like
Oh.
somebody asked him about um, hiring more men of color,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good with that. I want to involve that." And he said, "As we speak right now, like I'm actually on YouTube, and you can ask who's with me right now. That I'm doing the in-depth research on Chris Bay."
Which is fucking funny because I've never heard the guy's name until today.
Me
I,
either.
I've heard Chris
You
Bay
know,
for
and
the
I
past
and I and I and
6
I
months.
heard the name now, and I just fucking saw it.
Oh, Chris Bay is dude. Like,
Chris
I've
Bebe.
I've never heard the name.
Chris Bebe.
Maybe I know him.
follow him
Maybe
on
I know him
Twitter.
to see him, but
Follow,
I don't know the name.
follow him on Twitter. He's an asshole like me and looks like Shane Strickland.
Oh, you know what's funny? His Twitter handle, if this is the guy I'm looking at, this may not be the same guy. His Twitter handle's at dashing Chris Bay.
Well, let me check. I
Is
think that may be
is that
it.
him?
Hold
No,
on.
that's not him. That's not him.
I mean, because I follow him. Hold on.
Dashing Chris Bay is a black guy. So.
Yeah, Chris Bay is a black guy.
Oh, what was I seeing on Impact? I thought oh, maybe. Oh, my thing froze for a minute. So I wonder if I was seeing Daga. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never showed it. They never showed him in the video package.
Okay, so mine cut from okay, that was Daga that I saw. I was like, that guy kind of looked familiar. Okay, so it's Dashing Chris Bay. That's funny because it used to be Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's him.
So Chris Bay, if we go to little pro wrestling fandom, he's cut his teeth in All Pro Wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which has gained a lot of traction in the past couple of years. Everything else I've never heard of. Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. Looks like he's a California guy. Future Stars of Wrestling, Maverick Pro Wrestling. He's won some titles. He won the tag titles in Championship from Hollywood. So
For his sake, I hope the ink's not dry on that Impact contract yet.
yeah. 10-day contract, baby.
Oh God, if I'm Chris Bay, I'm like, fuck.
Well, if that's how
Hey,
if that's how
hey,
Impact
Ed,
works,
Mr. Nordholm,
fuck your
trying
owl.
to get out of this deal.
Fuck your owl. Well, Darryl said they only do 10-day things and shit. He could say no on the next one they offer.
Honestly, that's the first I've ever heard of that. I know there's a lot of people in that company that are signed to long-term deals.
Yeah, I don't think they signed Chris Bay to a long-term deal.
They might now.
Thanks to everybody that voted in our poll afterwards. Resounding A on the show, 77% voted it an A, 18% gave it a B, and a couple of jabronis gave it a D or an F. Maybe justified after the end of Takeover. I don't know, but
Did they say D or F?
well, the Twitter only gives you 4 options for your poll.
Yeah, you could have picked the obvious one. Fucking slapdicks.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the people that voted D or F?
Yes.
Okay. There's always a douchebag in the crowd, you know. You know
Fucking
this.
trolls.
You know this, man.
Dude, it could have just been a diehard AEW fan that hates everything NXT does.
I'm a diehard AEW fan. I still wouldn't vote that shit. Wrestling is wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I know.
You know how those people are, man. Like the people that are trying to force people to take a side.
Yeah.
They're just.
I run across those idiots on Twitter. Anytime I say something negative about WWE, oh, you're an AEW mark, aren't you? No, look at my fucking timeline. I talk Raw, SmackDown, NXT all the goddamn time. You know?
Yeah, heaven forbid if you have constructive criticism of one brand, you're automatically a fanboy of the other.
I mean,
The sad part about that is they'll only say it on Twitter or any other social media outlet, but they won't say it to your face.
oh no.
Could you imagine how bad it would have been in the 90s if Twitter was around during the Monday Night War?
Oh
Oh
Christ.
my God!
Christ.
It would have been a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
They
Oh yeah.
weren't ready yet.
We were all blessed that Twitter was not around during the Monday Night War.
Yeah, I was blessed that social media wasn't around during college, so nothing's documented.
Let's just keep it real. Like, we have wrestling that we can watch as much as we want. Some good, some bad. Just appreciate the good, regardless of what brand it is. Just appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, some people can't accept that, but hey, fuck them.
That's why I say fuck it.
AEW this week, live from Austin, Texas. We are propelling ourselves towards AEW Revolution, which is, when you're listening to the podcast, going to be just 10 short days away. So we got to put up with some super shit down. Then we can enjoy a little boxing, biggest boxing match in forever happening with Wilder and Fury. And then
Can't wait.
And then we look forward to Revolution on Leap Year Day. Now I wonder where the last pay-per-view occurred on Leap Year Day. I wonder if there's ever been one. Good question. If we only had a research staff, we could have someone just pop that up real quick. And I don't know.
We do have a research staff.
Yeah, it's called
His name is
Google.
Mark Cho.
That too.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely. I look if there was ever an event that was held, if there was ever a wrestling pay per view held on leap year, we'll know about it by the end of the week because he'll tell us.
Bleacher Report has a thing of what cool stuff happened on Leap Day. WCW had a pay-per-view in '92.
Well, there you go. Cho's very disappointed right now that he didn't get to tell us that.
That's it. Like 2000, WWE had a SmackDown taping, and according to this article, WCW taped an awful edition of Thunder.
Thunder awful? No way.
So
Wait a minute.
So this is apparently the second ever pay-per-view on Leap Day. When was this article written, by the way? 2012. So, well, I don't know. So they could have had. There's only probably been one, maybe two. Leap year would be
2012 would have been 16 and 20.
Yeah.
So unless something happened in 2016, you're good.
Yeah. So WCW Super Brawl 2 happened in 1992. It was Jesse Ventura's debut as color commentator. Brian Pillman took on Jushin Thunder Liger for the light heavyweight
title. I remember watching that.
Hey, Darryl. What are your thoughts on Ace Austin being Dollar General Store version of Matt Taven?
It does look like Dollar General version of Matt.
Ain't no damn Dollar General. That's Salvation Army.
Oh my God, that is blatant.
And there he is with the
cane.
Cane.
With the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have like the same hair even outside of the purple?
Yeah, Matt Taven only had the stuff to the top.
What a joke. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. There you go. Here, if you did not know the history of Dustin Rhodes, he wrestled in '92 and won a tag. Defeated the Dangerous Alliance, Steve Austin and Larry Zbyszko. The Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton retained their titles over the Steiner brothers.
This is sad. I watched this pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like Dangerous Alliance had all the gold at this point almost. Rick Rude was the U.S. champion, beat Steamboat. Sting defeated Lex Luger, who was departing.
This was such a subpar pay-per-view.
Well, it was WCW in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Dude, I can remember my dad. Remember those little scrambler boxes where you get to watch all the free pay-per-views?
Yeah, my uncle had one.
This was the first pay-per-view I watched on that box.
Yeah, it looked just like a regular cable box,
Yes.
and it was magical.
Yes.
Oh, I had one of those. I had one of those, and it paid for itself in one weekend because I watched a Tyson fight that lasted 30 seconds. I think it was Etienne, and then WrestleMania. So I basically paid for itself in one weekend in like 2002.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Leap year in 2016. Trying to find a calendar here. Here we go. It happened on a Monday, so there was a Raw at least. But I doubt anything really interesting happened on Monday Night Raw. So let's just say this leap year is going to be the greatest leap year in professional wrestling history.
Probably.
Possibly.
So we had on that Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch double pin for the #1 contendership for the Divas title back when it was the Divas title. Oh my God, we didn't have a match over 9 minutes. Like most of these matches were 2 minutes long. So yeah. Leap year in 2016 though, we did have Y2AJ. Remember that?
Ugh.
Ryback defeating Adam Rose. I'm just gonna laugh at that pairing. Main event was Dean Ambrose and Alberto Del Rio, back when there was the League of whatever.
League of Nations or something.
Yeah, with Alberto and Barrett and Rusev and Sheamus, I think it was. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we are very certain that AEW will make wrestling history on leap year this year. We kick things off with the World Tag Team Championships. Omega Hangman, they're defending them a lot. They're taking on SCU. This was a tremendous match. No surprise, though, with Hangman and Omega getting the win. It seems like Hangman and Omega, their partnership is getting a little better, right?
Until Revolution, when they dropped the titles to the Young Bucks.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that's just so written on the wall. Did you watch Being the Elite this week?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Kenny and Hangman take AEW.
Hangman just does. He's doing a good job. Hangman's doing a good job of not fitting in. I'll tell you that much. He does.
He's being a dick.
Yeah. I still loved last week's when Matt took the beer and he took a sip of it. This is what I waited 34 years to try.
That was hilarious.
The Dark Order came out. Matt, who do you think at this point's the leader? Or who's the exalted one? Is it Marty Scurll? Is it Matt Hardy?
That's certainly not Marty Scurll.
Is it Matt Hardy?
We're down to 3 choices.
Yeah.
It's either Matt Hardy, it's Luke Harper, or it's Christopher Daniels.
I groaned when I thought about Christopher Daniels. Possibly.
Shit, I thought of a fourth one.
Why break up SCU?
Shit.
Who's your fourth one?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
What?
You're terrible.
It's Vince McMahon. It's me. It was me all along.
It was me all along.
It'll be Triple H.
I would pop for that.
It was me.
I would pop
all
for that.
along.
There was a secret working between Cody and Triple H all along, and so then Triple H appears as the exalted one. That'd be great. Problem is he would bury everybody in the Dark Order after that.
No, I seriously, it's to me, it's Matt Hardy, it's Luke Harper, or it's Christopher Daniels. Yeah. I truly do not see it being anybody else.
I am gonna groan hard if SCU gets broken up this early.
Well, the SCU won't be broken up. SCU will still be the tag team of Kazarian and Sky.
Yeah, SCU is still a 3-man group though, boys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're definitely implying that there's a chance it could be Daniels.
They're teasing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely can see Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper's the back burner plan if they can't lock down Hardy right away.
I hear Harper's debuting in New York. So
Yeah.
New York or Newark?
New York, whatever. New York,
gotta-
New York.
The same thing.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty hop, skip, and a jump away from each other.
Wasn't
the
that
the shadows of New York City?
Wasn't that the Frank Sinatra song? Newark, New York. No.
Yeah, I'm hearing that's where Harper debuts with AEW.
When is
I
when is
think
that?
I would like to hope Matt Hardy debuts before that.
Yeah. When is the New York show?
I think it's like March 17th or something like that.
And we got to get used to saying his name now, Brody Lee.
Well, we don't know what they're going to call him. I mean,
True.
you'd think they call him Brody Lee, but who knows?
Isn't that what he trademarked
looks
that?
like it's March 18th. Would be a Wednesday.
I thought he trademarked Brody Lee though.
Well, then, I mean, that's what he was called before he went to WWE. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the tag teams came out and battled. It's kind of funny how the Young Bucks were left standing in the ring because booking 101, whoever's left standing in the ring's not going to win the big match next. But we all know that the Young Bucks are going to win the big match.
I would be shocked if the Bucks don't win. I really would be.
Yeah, me too.
Because that just feels like everything that they've been building up to the Bucks and Hangman and Kenny. So
yeah,
the only way they could do that and they don't win that would make sense is if Hangman actually came out and did something to get them to quote unquote accidentally get them eliminated.
Because remember,
and then they could extend this out a little bit longer if they wanted to.
Yeah, because remember, being the Elite this week, Hangman going around to all the tag teams, let them know their weak spots. But hey, don't tell the Young Bucks this. But I thought the interview with Santana was tremendous with JR. Santana talking about his father, who recently passed away, actually last month. It's unique to have this kind of a sit down with a heel, but it was really cool that they did it though. I a lot of respect always had a lot of respect for Santana, but I thought it was really cool that he told his story about his father with JR, even though he's in the biggest heel faction in the company. So I thought that was tremendously well done. Darby Allin, he still can't talk after his throat got smashed with a skateboard, but he's got a set of signs, and they all lead to challenging Sammy Guevara at Revolution. Dustin Rhodes took on Sammy Guevara, got the win there, and finally sets up the match I've been asking for ever since Jake Hager debuted with the company. We're going to get later on. It was made official on television on Dynamite. Jake Hager, Dustin Rhodes. I'm excited to see that. What about you? What do you guys think?
Oh, damn time.
Yeah. Once again, Oklahoma and Texas battling it out. Dr. Britt Baker, again being interviewed by poor Tony. Why don't they put Excalibur in that role? Have her run down Excalibur. That'd be fun. Though she did get some heat by talking shit about Whataburger, and which led to a Whataburger chant.
Which is blasphemy. I love Whataburger.
I've never had it. So.
When I went to, that was probably the best part about going to WrestleMania in Dallas was having Whataburger a few times.
Yeah, I guess I probably should have done that, but I didn't. Oh well. AEW Women's Title match, Nyla Rose Riho, pretty solid match, and as Darryl said on the show last week, it was time to get the title off of Riho, and they did.
Yep.
And obviously, a lot of backwards thinking people decided to take to social media and publicly post absolute crap. I know a lot of people took to her defense. I can remember just off the top of my head Dustin Rhodes with a great tweet. I don't know, did Cody bring up anything like that on the?
He did. Someone brought up. I don't know if you guys have it pulled up, but someone brought up the comment or the tweet per se that Val Venus had.
Oh, yeah.
The many tweets. I blocked his ass.
Yeah, I didn't see them, and at this point, I don't care to see them. But Fuck you. You weren't.
I do love
Cody's.
that Cody called him the Disco Inferno of the
Yeah, he
WWE.
definitely did.
Ouch.
And he said nobody's gonna book him. Like he's not booking with AEW, nothing like that. If he was saying that just to get some booking, he's definitely not. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, but
Shit, to my knowledge, he hasn't wrestled in forever.
right, but he's sitting. He sits there and runs a fucking dispensary in California.
Yeah, he just wants to be relevant for 10 minutes.
So does my right foot. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that Tony Khan was there to give her a hug. You don't see Tony Khan on TV much.
That was the first time we've ever seen Tony Khan on TV.
Oh,
that was his AEW TV debut.
Oh, we heard his voice with Jon Moxley. Yeah,
yes,
we didn't
we never saw him.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, man. Like, it doesn't matter what color you are, what your sexuality is, and we've touched on this numerous of times. It's wrestling, man. Everybody's equal. Like
I saw the tweet.
How is it any different than Tessa Blanchard winning the Impact World title?
Thank you.
There's just a lot of homophobic. There's other words to describe these assholes, but there's just a lot of. I mean, hell, once Trump became president, a lot of those guys came out of the woodwork because they thought they won.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely. Like you have courage because our president's a fucking dickhead.
I saw Ryan Satin, who was on the conference call. He tweeted a lot of the stuff out, and I did see one tweet from Ryan that said a quote from Cody. She won the title because she's the best women's wrestler right now in AEW, and that's all you got to say about that, really.
I'm just tired of. I know some people just don't.
I don't necessarily agree with that statement, but like at the same token, I don't mind that she's the champion either.
Well, I'm just saying, he's a leader of a company, and she's got the title, so it's the thing to say.
It was the politically correct thing to say.
Yeah. The Inner Circle was interviewed and then came out to the ring. Or actually, no, this was still during the interview. And he said, Jericho says if Moxley survives Santana tonight, then he faces a man that's beating up people all over the world, and he threw a bomb at us. Jeff Cobb coming to AEW. What do you guys think about that?
Marked out so hard. They need to lock that man down.
Yeah, he's still.
Yeah, he does.
I don't care. I don't care the amount of money that it costs. They need to lock that man down. Let him continue to work New Japan, like Moxley and Jericho do.
Yeah,
they need to lock him down and take him away from Ring of Honor.
But you heard what he said though. He said he's still with Ring of Honor and New Japan. Like you could let him work New Japan all you want to, but I think he still has a binding contract to Ring of Honor.
He doesn't. He has no contract with Ring of Honor.
He's a free agent.
He's working on per date deals with ROH right now.
Yep.
Well, what Cody said, they really want him. They really want to sign him long term.
Yeah, and I hope they do. I really, really hope they do.
Jeff Cobb, of course, came to a lot of people's attention as the Monster Matanza on Lucha Underground, and then really made a name for himself after he was able to get out of those shackles, so to speak, of Lucha Underground contracts, and really turned into a tremendous professional wrestler and in his own right without a mask, and has done a tremendous job over the past couple of years. So even had a little video package for him after that, so it was very cool to hear. That surprised me all as hell too. I mean, I don't know if that was reported beforehand or not.
Shit, I didn't hear anything. That was a big surprise to me myself.
No, I marked out when they said his name, and I marked out even harder when he showed up at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Brandy Rhodes joining the commentary table, and they listen to the fans. Quietly, the Nightmare Collective is done.
Well, they kind of broke him up on Dark.
Yeah.
So
they haven't really addressed it on TV at all, but
it was trash, unfortunately.
I kind of was interested at first, but then as it progressed,
it was too long, drawn and out. Like,
but she's on commentary for MJF against Jungle Boy, which was a tremendous match. I mean, God, if there was ever a point to put out a secondary title in 2020. It's to put guys like Jungle Boy have a title on him. I think Jungle Boy can be a world champion eventually, but I mean in the short term, there's a lot of big boys at the top that are more established, and that's where the secondary belt really would help, and I think Jungle Boy would flourish in a role like that, don't you think?
Yeah, a couple people were flourished from that.
Oh yeah.
Jungle Boy, Kip Sabian, Darby Allin,
Yep.
Joey Janela. Shit.
Yeah.
Plenty of people.
And it's funny you mentioned a lot of people that Jericho had very competitive matches with, but Darby Allin for the title, Jungle Boy wasn't for the title, but it was an exhibition that was tremendous. So, next week, tomorrow on Dynamite we got the cage match, Cody and Wardlow tag team. Is that a battle royal?
The tag team, then it's a battle royal.
It's a battle royal, yeah.
And Moxley and Jeff Cobb. Do we have anything else penciled in besides those three matches that you know of?
Is the Iron Man match tomorrow night or next week?
Next
30-minute Iron. It's next week.
Next week.
All right.
Down the road from me in Kansas City.
Are you going?
No. Just
Son
because
of a
I don't
bitch.
know my job situation. It's going to be hard to if
Understood.
if I'm working at that point, which would be next week. So I don't know if I'm going to be working. It depends on what I find out this week. But yeah, it'd be hard to take a 3-hour drive back and get back at like 2 in the morning and then go to work at a new job. So probably not going. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle join in their private box as they set to watch the main event of the evening, Jon Moxley against Santana. And no surprise, Moxley getting the win after 11 minutes. Afterwards, Ortiz comes in, takes down Moxley, and the Inner Circle comes out of the skybox into the ring to attack, and then out comes Jeff Cobb and puts his trademark spinning slam on him, which they call the Tour of the Islands. And that is how we end another tremendous edition of AEW Dynamite. I didn't think Jeff Cobb would be there.
Yeah, I had no clue. I was shocked by the announcement, and I marked out over it, and I marked out even harder when you showed up.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
When they were
And
showing,
like I said, I've only tweeted Tony Khan I think 2 times total since he's launched AEW, but I actually felt compelled enough to tweet him last Thursday and tell him like they needed to do whatever they had to do in order to get Cobb locked into a deal. So
hopefully he listens. And so yeah, so now that we've wrapped up Dynamite talk, Darryl, anything else you want to say about today's conference call?
Conan, I mean, outside of what we touched on already, he started off with generally saying that he was excited because it's his hometown or whatnot, and the buzz around everything with the matches. One thing that stood out to me, I forgot how the conversation exactly went, and maybe Matt can give a little light on it if necessary. He gave a shout out to Jack Evans as being one of the most underrated wrestlers on the roster.
yeah,
That kind of stood out to me. As well as we touched on Jeff Cobb, trying to get him to sign long term. It was a question asked about Double or Nothing in Vegas, and pretty much Cody said he might get talked to about this, but pretty much so Double or Nothing is on a Saturday, of course, but also like from that weekend, even that Dynamite after Double or Nothing will be in Vegas as well.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a gigantic mistake.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um, they're going to have events leading from that weekend all the way up until Wednesday.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. If this was the plan, they needed to inform people of this
Ahead of time.
weeks ago.
Because those tickets are
Exactly.
on sale.
Yeah, because tickets are
Yeah.
already on sale um for Double or Nothing.
People are planning on flying
Like
out.
people exactly. People
Leaving.
fly out Saturday night to Sunday morning.
Yep.
So like the fact that they did not inform anybody of this ahead of time,
Yeah.
this was a big misfire by them, and I think they're oversaturating that Vegas market, which is already hard to attract a regular wrestling audience there anyway, based on just the people that live in um in Vegas. I think this was a mistake by this is a big misfire and a mistake by AEW.
Yeah.
And I hope they prove me wrong. But this should have been something that should have been announced when Double or Nothing Double or Nothing was announced. They should have also announced that hey,
Before
we're
tickets
also
went
going
on
to be
sale.
doing we're also going to be doing the Dynamite here the next few on Wednesday, and we're going to be doing all these like AEW fan events
if they wanted
between Sunday and Tuesday.
if they wanted money, like in the spirit of WWE, Raw and SmackDown right after Mania or whatever pay-per-view that is, you got to realize too, there's that gap from Saturday, you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all went into Dynamite. So what are you gonna have a star cast for that long? That's a lot. Like Starcast, even when it was here in Baltimore, was a lot, and it was only 2 days. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Uh,
unless Cody unless they were just thinking, hey, this Double or Nothing is going to be for people to fly in for. Dynamite is more for the local.
right. Well, I mean, we'll see. Maybe you might pick up some ticket sales for people who might want to extend their flight or extend their stay or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
people will change their plans. I don't, not everybody can probably, and it may cost money to do so. So it's not going to be everybody doing it, but yeah, it is kind of interesting that they didn't announce it before the tickets went on sale. But
Right. He also touched on someone asked about the women's roster, and he actually acknowledged that it wasn't big at this point and it will take time to develop, but also to tell people to be patient on the growth of it. He threw out a couple names. He wants to see Big Swole, Big Swole in the title picture, Britt Baker, Nyla, of course. I mean, just to name a few. But I think for me personally, what I took from the call, and someone asked a question about his recruitment of talent. He mentioned that two things that Taz came to him and asked him, did he want to go to the NCAA finals? And I'm not talking about basketball, March Madness. He's talking about wrestling, the NCAA wrestling finals, to scout talent as well as the NFL Combine to scout talent, because a lot of former football players are, you know, professional wrestlers.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
not everybody's going to catch on to a team. So if you know,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And try to, put that out there that, you're a pure athlete. You can do this too. But he said every avenue that they're going to venture to, like I said, from the NCAA finals of wrestling to the NFL combine and still with the independents, he said, mentioned that Matt and Nick have been on the independent still searching talent. But then also, in that same question, it was asked about a training facility close to, I mean, like the performance center with WWE. And he acknowledged the fact that he's affiliated with a wrestling school in Norcross, Georgia, not AEW, but Cody is, and it's kind of themed the Nightmare Factory. Um, and hopefully in the future, it'll be a training ground for AEW wrestlers. He mentioned that Dean Malenko had a seminar not too long ago, and 85% of the roster participated. So they're all into growth of the current talent that they have, as well as future talent as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was a very informative media call.
Just too bad you didn't get a question in there. But
Yeah, I tried.
the question the question you talked to me about did get asked, which was interesting. The question I suggested to you was just basically the reaction to just the overall sentiment or reaction to the segment with the 10 lashes, which I thought was a very well done, very dramatic ending to Dynamite. Moving on to SmackDown and Raw, very uneventful SmackDowns and Raws this week. I think the biggest, brightest part of it was the Bayley Carmella Championship match. I thought that was a tremendous showing for Carmella. It may lead to, depending on Sasha Banks' availability, I would not hate Bayley, Naomi, Carmella for the title, triple threat at Mania. I do not hate that, depending on Sasha's availability.
I just want to see Sasha and Bayley again.
Yeah. Have they fought at Mania?
No, they haven't fought. They haven't fought each other since Takeover.
For some reason, we have Roman Reigns and King Corbin again, but it is Super Shitdown, a show nobody cares about. So, that you got that at least. Sheamus defeated Shorty G and Apollo Crews in a handicap match. Hey, at least Apollo Crews got an entrance. It's more than he's gotten in about 8 months. Hulk Hogan, they interviewed him. I thought it was pretty clever, well done. The Firefly Funhouse NWO interruption. I thought that was really well done. Why they brought Hogan on, I don't know. Just to have him.
Did you see they're selling that shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the FFO or FFH.
The Firefly Funhouse and the NWO logo.
Nice.
Yeah, that was on the WWE shop too.
Yeah, and I kind of need that.
Other than I guess he's just trying to back up Goldberg, who he's got a lot of history with. But yeah, it was kind of weird to see him on there. I guess Hogan's appearing at Super Showdown, so
I know he was originally supposed to, but there's they don't know if he's going to be able to travel or not with his back or whatever after the surgery. So I don't know if he's going to or not. I know that was in the original plans, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
Cesaro and Sami Zayn and those guys feuding with Elias and Sami Zayn. I don't know. It's just not really hitting me much. I'm very glad Braun's an Intercontinental Champion now, but
What, you didn't like the cowbell?
That was a line I could see coming a mile away.
Oh, the crowd loved it.
Of course they
until
did.
Cesaro threw it away.
What was this crowd at again?
Dude, the crowd loved it because WWE hasn't had a live TV show there in 2 decades. It was in Vancouver, British Columbia.
It was a good crowd, unlike the crowd in Washington Monday.
It was a good crowd, yeah. Oh, what's funny? They never mentioned the town. We're in Washington. They were in Everett, Washington, but we're in Washington. They don't even want to say the name of the town, and I don't blame them after that crowd performance. Shit. Poor Otis, heartbroken because he was late.
Fuck Dolph Ziggler.
And Dolph Ziggler stole the show, right? Yeah. Oh man, Otis man, my heart was breaking looking at Otis, man. But
Dolph's a piece of shit.
But the cool thing is we will probably get to see Otis beat the shit out of Dolph Ziggler eventually.
He's here to show the world.
He will get Mandy eventually. It'll happen. This wasn't Mandy's fault. It was all that piece of shit Dolph Ziggler. And then we ended with Roman and Bryan against Miz and Morrison. I come to think about
a totally unnecessary match.
Yeah, but you know why? You know what? I kind of thought. What do they have in store for Roman and Bryan at WrestleMania? Nothing. I wonder if they team up to face Miz and Morrison. for the
Said
title.
Roman's facing the Fiend,
Roman's facing the
Cole.
Fiend, bruh.
Oh, you think that's still going?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Look. Even if Goldberg beats the Fiend and wins the title at Super Showdown, Roman's facing Goldberg.
Okay.
God, I hope not.
I know Darryl does not like that answer.
Man,
Much like Matt didn't like the answer when you said Corbin was going to beat Reigns at a Royal Rumble.
And he didn't.
Or goddamn it, Goldberg better not be in.
Look, I'm telling you right now, if Goldberg whoever wins that match at Super Showdown's facing Roman at Mania.
Okay. Well, it just seems like they kind of put that on the back.
And I'll tell you right now, they do that. Guess who's facing the Fiend? John Jack.
Yep, that's what I was about to say.
That's a hell of a lot better than what
will be on SmackDown the night after Super Showdown.
That's a hell of a lot better than what the rumors.
If Goldberg beats the Fiend, you're looking at the Fiend and John Cena, and you're looking at Goldberg versus Reigns.
Because right now the rumors are that John Cena's facing Elias, and I'm like,
which makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever.
They'd have to turn Elias heel, but right now
they would have to turn Elias Big Show worthy. Turn again.
And Elias is over. Elias
it makes no sense.
No.
Elias has had more turns than a fucking doorknob.
Kane has, and Big Show. Elias ain't there yet. Yeah, that's a lot better for Cena. That makes no. I don't know. It came from Meltzer though, so hey. Monday Night Raw started off great, and then that was about it. The Orton and Matt Hardy segment was the only good thing about this show, really. The crowd sucked, but the segment itself was great. Do you think now this is the last we've seen of Matt Hardy in WWE?
No.
Should have been the last we've seen of him last week.
Well, he said goodbye. I mean, fuck. Well, of course, MVP said he was never wrestling a match for WWE again.
He's still coming.
He did for 2 minutes.
Look, MVP tweeted something to the effect that they keep paying me, I'll keep showing up.
That shit I would too.
Hey.
But he's working with them as a producer now.
Is it official?
For him, man.
Is it official? I knew he was trying to.
He told Booker T that on Booker T's podcast.
I knew he was trying to work for them as a producer.
As far as I know, it's a done deal.
I did love Aleister Black's 2 black masses on Eric Rowan. I thought that was well fucking done. They are booking Aleister Black so strong. I don't know where they're going with him, but they're booking him strong as hell. I see some people saying they want to see a Aleister Black Randy Orton feud for Mania. But obviously, not Mania. Not Mania. Not Mania. Not Mania.
Apparently, it came down to Black and McIntyre for the Rumble.
Oh, really?
From what I'm hearing, it could have been Black and Lesnar at Mania.
I would have took that.
And they went with Drew instead, which I don't think they could have gone wrong either way.
No.
I think Drew's long overdue.
Very, and he's over.
I think they can pull the trigger on Black anytime they want.
He is over. Hell, you could have Black turn heel and take on Drew after Mania. I could see Black as a heel completely. Charlotte Flair came out looking fine and just talking down NXT and saying they're entitled now because they didn't have to scrap and claw in a warehouse like Charlotte had to. We had a triple threat 24/7 match for the that went 2 minutes. If that tells you how much faith that WWE has in that thing. McIntyre with a good promo, I like his exchanges with Heyman. McIntyre's the full package, man. Great on the mic, great in the ring, and he's over with the crowd. They built him perfectly to take the title off of Lesnar. So really well done. Loved what they did there. The match with MVP was very short, no surprise there. But I kind of wish that they didn't have MVP as a heel here, but at least it gives him something to do on screen. I kind of wanted him to stay as a babyface. What do you guys think? I know you guys are fans of MVP.
I love MVP, but honestly, the match wasn't very good.
Yeah,
I feel like they didn't connect on either the big boot at the beginning of the match or the Claymore at the end. I feel MVP took the bump early twice, which disappoints me as much as I love MVP. But I feel like I didn't see Drew's boot connect at the beginning or the end of the match. And I just say it just MVP back with WWE. I'm happy. But like, yeah, let him do the producer thing. He doesn't need to be on TV unless he's doing like the VIP lounge or you're managing somebody. Like,
do you think it's like an angle thing? He should just hang it up, or do you think he just doesn't have it anymore?
Well, he already said he was planning on retiring.
Yeah.
So he said the booker he only had like 12 at most 12 matches left in him.
Well, maybe that
podcast with him. So I guess he's got 11 now.
maybe that was the swan song then. At one a little. I know they're good buddies. Him and Drew go way back. So. Becky Lynch dropped a bunch of money on the ring because she's paying her fine in advance for what she does to Shayna next time she sees her.
This was bad.
Shayna got a cuss on USA. Yeah, the ball. Well, Matt, you were not on last week. The whole biting thing is just weird, isn't it?
Especially since they kind of basically dismissed it this week. I think they realized after the fact that it was dumb.
It was so far out of left field.
Because it fucking made Shayna Baszler look like fucking Gangrel.
Made her look like...
I'm sure Vince was upset that Gangrel showed up at Ring of Honor on Sunday, but calm down, old man.
Yeah, it's like more like Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, what the fuck? Jeffrey Dahmer meets Mike Tyson. It was weird.
Bite the back of your neck.
I got a chuckle out of Lana calling Angel Garza and Zelina Vega an item. And they're like, oh, wait, no.
Like, shut up.
Mr. Aleister Black would like to have a say in that.
Absolutely.
Kairi Sane took on Natalya in an account. I guess they're feuding those two leading up to the Chamber, I guess, with Asuka. Because Asuka and Natalya are in the EC. Seth Rollins, I've kind of enjoyed some parts of this heel turn, but this sermon was a bore.
Awful.
It was a bore, wasn't it?
Brutal. Honestly, this has been the worst. This was the worst Raw of 2020 so far.
I
don't even think it's close.
And there just
was
hasn't
not a good show.
There's been no sort of progression in this feud with these 8 guys, with Joe and KO and AOP and Viking Raiders and Buddy. There's just and Rollins. There's just been no progression. I'm all for long feuds, but this is one that just is too long because there's no goddamn progression to it. The OC comes out. Welcome back, AJ Styles. He had separated shoulder. Was that official? It's some shoulder injury from taking a spear from Edge at the Rumble.
Probably a sprain if he came back that fast.
It was either separated or dislocated. Whatever one was the easier one to come back from.
A lot of reports saying that Styles and Undertaker for WrestleMania. He mentioned WrestleMania and HBK twice. I'm like, oh,
he also mentioned the Undertaker.
Yeah,
he sure did.
I think that's a hell of a match.
I'm not paying my $9.99 to see bald-headed Shawn Michaels.
I know. Daryl has a thing against bald-headed Shawn Michaels.
Look, I'd love to see HBK versus Styles, but it's never going to happen. It's going to be Styles and Taker.
Yeah. And this could be a good. It's going to be a good match. Styles is a great opponent for Taker to kind of carry things, right?
Absolutely.
This led to Ricochet came out. This led to Ricochet Carl Anderson. Of course, Ricochet getting the win as he's set to be fed to Brock Lesnar at Super Shitdown.
With a side of bread.
Liv Morgan interviewed talking about Ruby Riott. It's funny how the Riot Squad is all in the Elimination Chamber because Raw has a bad depth problem in the women's division. And then we got the main event we've seen 85 times right now. Kevin Owens, Viking Raiders against Murphy and AOP. The only thing different about this one was after the beatdown numbers game, no Joe this week, but the Street Profits came. And that sets up a super shitdown tag team title match between the Street Profits and Murphy and Raw. I would not be surprised if the Profits win at super shitdown. Would not be surprised.
We want smoke.
I can't see Rollins going into WrestleMania as a tag team champion.
No,
that's stupid.
Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I don't know.
I can't see him going into WrestleMania a tag match.
No. Good for Murphy if it happens, but... Oh, by the way, Murphy joins the I Lost My Name Club.
Murphy. So we're gonna call you JB.
While we got you on the horn, Matt.
We're gonna change Matt's name to Black. I'm just gonna be D.
1-inch D.
1-inch D. There it is.
Hashtag 1-inch D, Mark Cho. Get it trended. Mark Cho is our trending. What's the word?
He's our research department.
He's our trending topics guy. He'll put those topics out there to trend on Twitter. Matt, while we got you on the horn,
Honk.
have you seen the Southpaw Regional Wrestling DLC for WWE 2K20? I watched the hour-long video from Danker, skipping through the matches, just watching the cutscenes, and oh my god, what the fuck? It was terrible. It was trash. Did you get to see any of this, Matt?
I've heard it's terrible. I haven't booted up the game in months, so I haven't downloaded any of the DLC.
Do you have the pass? Do you have the pass?
Yeah, I got the pass.
Oh my god, it was text screen, poorly written text screen. This was just the women's segment. I don't know if there's any other storylines, but none of it was on Southpaw Regional Wrestling, to be honest, and it was just trash. Oh my god.
Instant approval.
Yeah, they had a chance to do an actual Southpaw Regional Wrestling thing, and they fucked it up. Like, only 2K would be that fucking stupid.
Yeah, Matt, I would suggest watch Dank's video. Just skip through the matches. It'll save yourself about 45 minutes. It is horribly. Let's talk about some top headlines before we go to the rest of the headlines this week. It is being reported, and PW Insider has confirmed the news that British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith is going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Damn time.
The entire
we're all in agreement there.
Yeah. The entire Hart family is slated to travel to Tampa to be in attendance for the induction. Smith unfortunately passed away at the age of 39 in 2002. One half of the British Bulldogs with the late Dynamite Kid. He would later become a member of the Hart Foundation in the late 90s. Returned for a final run from 99 to 2000. Also had some runs in WCW as well. I tell you what, I go back and remember Wembley Stadium, SummerSlam 92, Bret Hart. That's like a top 10 match of all time right there, wasn't it, boys?
Sure was. I just wish one other Hart was inducted. My favorite Hart.
Yeah, we need that to happen.
Well, as long as his wife's alive, it's never going to happen.
But the Hart family is coming.
Enough, and it's time for a change.
I am not a nugget. The Hart family is flying to Tampa, so maybe the door's opening. I don't know.
Not that side of the Hart family.
She better.
She ain't gonna be there for Bulldog. I promise you, she won't be there.
You stay her ass. Where the fuck she at now?
The other, not much big for headlines. But the other one, very interesting headline. Major League Wrestling attorneys engaging with WWE attorneys this week and alleging contract tampering. They were asked if it was in regards to Davey Boy Smith Jr. being on the bump, and they say it is not.
Which I'm sure he was there to film stuff about his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Since the advent, for Mike Johnson, PW Insider, the advent of signing talents in 2018, the language in the contract specifically forbids them from working WWE dates, so any direct communication with signed MLW talents would be seen as a breach of contract by MLW management. Discussion via third parties has gone on in pro wrestling since the days of Frank Gotch, will always happen. MLW has strengthened the exclusivity of their contracts and talents since the advent of All Elite Wrestling's launch last year. One source has claimed that the WWE has had an abundance of evidence that should go to court, but wow, yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you, Matt.
Mike,
For what?
That tweet.
Oh, you're welcome.
That pit bull is beautiful.
That's Paige's pupper.
Wow.
Mike Johnson, PW Insider, says, gut feeling that the courtroom showdown's not going to happen. That's because WWE has a lot of money, probably is why. What do you guys think of this whole allegation of tampering and such?
It doesn't surprise me.
You're not surprising me either.
And plus, you're not going to win against WWE lawyers, so. What?
I guess it all depends on how much evidence you have.
It's true, I guess. But you know what expensive lawyers can do. They can.
Well, expensive lawyers didn't beat Punk and Cabana. So I'm saying it's going to come down to how much evidence you have.
Yeah.
I don't know. If WWE feels like there's enough evidence against them, they're going to settle this shit out of court.
Yeah. As we mentioned previously, Jack Cena, he's going to return on the February 28th edition of Friday Night SmackDown. It's going to happen from his hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. So let's hope the Fiend shows up there and starts some things. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla has announced that they are going to return to the Globe Theater in LA on the 29th of March, and their pay-per-view is going to be titled Kobe. Of course, this is a LA-based promotion, so a little tribute to Kobe Bryant there. PWG champion Bandito is going to take on Jonathan Gresham in the main event there. Jeff Cobb is scheduled to wrestle on this event as well, so I would assume if he signs with AEW, wrap things up, and then get him exclusive, right?
Yeah, might as well.
It was announced that WrestleMania 37 is going to take place in Hollywood, California. The Miz saying if he doesn't main event, he quits. Do you think he was truthful with that, or just being in character as the A-lister?
Character.
Okay. Yeah, the WWE pays those bills, don't they?
Pretty much.
He should be in the main event picture, though, again. I mean, it's been...
I heard Rock Roman.
Oh, that's going to happen. Yeah. It's been, what, 8 years? No, even longer than that. Shit. Was it 07 when Miz was champ? 13 years ago? Fuck.
Yeah, that was the same. That main event Mania was the same one that Rock and Cena before Miami. I think that was.
No, because
Yeah, was that New York, Matt?
Miz faced Cena.
Chris Bay tweeted 8 hours ago, "It's just a little too late. It's just too little too late, JoJo."
Wow.
Which would have correspondingly been right around the time that teleconference
8
was
hours,
ending.
2 o'clock. It sure was.
What meaning that he's saying that to Cody?
Yep. And I'm sure he was trying to be cute with the song there, but let's be real here. That was the message.
Let's just keep it 100. Fuck you on an Impact for?
Yeah. That baffles all of us, but people still do.
I mean, I get it, but okay.
Look, if you'd have just waited a few more weeks.
It's called patience, young grasshopper. Just a little bit of patience.
I get it though. If I'm working the indies for years and I get a call from Impact and it's a good money deal, I would consider it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's if times are hard. It depends on what everybody doesn't have the same financial situation. So yeah. I get it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, well, should I go to Walmart, work at Walmart, or am I going to work at Nordstrom's?
Yeah. Impact Wrestling's Twitter account just posted literally minutes ago. Incredibly excited to announce that Chris Bay is signed with Impact Wrestling. So.
Yeah, that's a big L on Cody today.
Yeah, I'm mad that
dude should have kept his mouth shut.
But you know what, though? Let me ask you this, though, Matt. Does that speak volumes on his... Does that speak on his...
ability to scout talent?
Well, no, I'm not necessarily his ability, but the people who he has scouting for him. And this is no pun intended at all.
That they drug their feet too long, or
Well, yeah, they're late to the dance, late to the party, because
is it a private party?
get it? And I'm
God,
not
you
trying
fucker.
to. I'm just being honest. Like you hire,
This ain't
I
no
would say
water.
hire. Yeah, hire a wrestling fan that actually just pay them to go travel to wrestling shows and just look at talent.
Fuck, pay me,
Like,
baby.
shit, pay me, pay Matt. Fuck, I don't give a shit.
Pay the podcast, baby.
Because I saw Chris Bay 6 months ago. Matt and JB haven't.
Yeah.
But there might be wrestlers that JB has seen that me and Matt haven't. There might be wrestlers that Matt has seen that me and JB haven't.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have nothing
exactly.
but time on our hands.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that leads me to wonder if you got one person doing multiple things, scouting, making sure catering is good, etc.
Yeah.
It's just an idea.
Yeah, I don't know. More Hart family news. Teddy Hart arrested on charge with possession of a Schedule III narcotic and possession with intent to sell or distribute. Oops.
Wow.
Court date set for April 23rd. He was released from his MLW contract back in 2019, so yeah, it's going to be a little hard to get him signed here anytime soon. CM Punk returned to backstage last week. I've yet to watch that even. Big numbers for them, 169,000. Basically the biggest numbers since they did an official premiere back in November. So big numbers for backstage there. This week, Mark Henry joins the show as a host, and Keith Lee will be on.
Bask in his glory.
AEW still won the war, but slipped quite a bit. They lost over 100,000 viewers, but
Which
still.
is crazy because the episode was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure as hell was.
I don't know what the hell happened on why they lost some viewers, but
I mean, to me, it's fluctuating television watching. You see it from Raw and SmackDown every week.
yeah,
That those numbers dip every other way between 100 and 300,000 every freaking week. I mean, it's fluctuating viewership habits, and I really think it's not really that big of a deal. I still go back to the press release from TNT when they extended their deal to 2024, that they're averaging 1.3 million viewers a week off of the DVR numbers.
mm-hmm.
So I really don't know if TNT cares about as much as TNT cares as much about that overnight rating as wrestling fans wish you to believe they do.
Yeah. SmackDown holding steady at about 2.5 million. They've been at that point for all of 2020, basically, which is weird for broadcast TV to only pull in that number. No Raw numbers, obviously, with the holiday yesterday.
Yeah, but it's Friday night, dude. I mean, for Friday night, that's a good number.
Yeah, it's hard to. A lot of people are doing stuff.
And consistently, look. If you want to look at it this way, they're still doing better than the Raw every week. And even though Raw's the better show, SmackDown's on a Friday night still getting better ratings than Raw.
And I'm surprised that Miz and Mrs. NXT being a lead-in, they're only getting half the audience they got from season 1. They're not even 500,000. I'm kind of
because the NXT fan is not the same type of fan that watches Miz and Mrs.
Yeah, so
and that's being proven.
They need
very much so.
They need to move that back. What was it? Was Tuesday the original night?
Yeah, it used to be on after SmackDown on USA.
Yeah, they need to get that off of that time slot in a hurry.
Well, they should have never moved Miz to Fox when his show's on USA.
True. As we mentioned, The Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, signing with the WWE. Interview with her on WWE's YouTube. Check that out. Rock posting a great little documentary of him visiting the Performance Center.
Yeah, I was going to say The Rock's video is better than anything WWE posted.
Yeah, The Rock's video was great. The Rock must just have a rolling documentary crew with him. Hey, he can afford it. Speaking of The Rock and John Cena nominated for Kids' Choice Awards from their respective movies. Rock for his respective movie in Jumanji, John Cena as the favorite TV host for his role in Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Yeah, let's look at some Impact news. That was basically, who cares?
That's pretty much Impact in a nutshell.
Yeah. Some information on Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb only booked for next Wednesday's Dynamite in Atlanta. Obviously,
not accurate.
Nope.
Cody said on the press conference today that they have him for dates beyond this Wednesday.
Okay, all right. That was from Mike. That was from Mike Johnson, but that was 5 days ago. So.
Well, things could change in 5 days, though.
Keep up, Mikey.
Yeah. So, that's what happens when we only do a show once a week. So,
hashtag plans change.
The creative direction with the company since the onset has been primarily Tony Khan. That's no surprise. EVP.
He's been doing great with this Hangman Kenny Young Bucks storyline. I hear he's the creative force behind that entire storyline.
Yeah, I said it earlier. Hangman's doing a great job of looking as the third wheel, or the fourth wheel, so to speak, actually. Chris Jericho remains very involved working on newer stars to get newer stars in the company over. You've already seen that with Darby Allin, with Jungle Boy. So that's definitely out there.
Sammy Guevara, for that matter.
Definitely giving him and LAX the rub by being with him.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, LAX was strong on their own.
LAX is strong on their own, but there's a general audience that doesn't know who the fuck LAX is.
And at the same time,
but now the fact that they're associated with Chris Jericho, they're automatically important in the eyes of Jericho's fan base. It was a very smart move to put them with him.
And look who main evented Dynamite last week. In a singles match, no.
I want to see a lot more sit-down interviews on Dynamite with Jim Ross and a talent in the ring. Yeah,
that was great with Santana.
Dude, those things worked so well in the Attitude Era. With Jim Ross sit-downs with Mick Foley and Triple H and stuff like that.
Sure
they created stars. There's no reason, like at least twice a month, we shouldn't be seeing sit-down interviews like the one we saw Ross have on Dynamite last week. It needs to be done. That is the best utilization they could have of Jim Ross right now outside of the commentary booth.
And once Jim Ross steps down from the commentary booth, I bet we see even more of those.
Brother, I'm going to JR out and take his spot.
But then, of course, they jumped the shark when they had guys like Kane setting him on fire.
My God.
I did not know this, but the Lexi, the interviewer, is Diamond Dallas Page's daughter.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yep.
She's cute.
She is. I'm not warmed up to her. She was really robotic, like when she was doing the control center stuff for Dark. So I think she give her a little, get her feet wet a little bit.
A little nervous. I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
She's cute, though.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's half the battle.
She does yoga.
Also,
she does.
I hope so. Daddy's got that little thing called DDPY. And visiting some people, maybe friends, maybe talking business, who knows? But Chase Owens from the Bullet Club was also visiting last week backstage at AEW.
Don't waste money signing Chase Owens.
Don't you talk about Chase like that.
I'm just saying. I'm right.
I like Chase.
Yeah, look, I like Chase too. But do you think he's worth an AEW contract right now?
It could benefit him.
It could benefit him. Benefit AEW.
Yeah. It's been announced that the site of the championship game for the 2020 XFL season has been announced. TDECU Stadium on the campus of the University of Houston will host the championship game on Sunday, April 26th.
By God.
I think we could almost already pencil in. God, I can't remember the teams now. I know the quarterbacks. PJ and Cardale. Cardale will probably be
the DC Defenders, brother.
Yeah, DC and Houston. Is PJ Tucker on Houston?
That I don't know.
I don't know. I definitely think the Defenders are going. They look pretty good.
Hey, you want to hear a funny
What do you
joke?
think about those rumors of Philly getting an XFL team next year, Darryl?
Fuck about that.
And
You don't
In
care?
Philadelphia, it's the Eagles.
let me correct
Oh,
myself.
so you stick
Unlike DC, where the Defenders might supersede the Redskins.
Let me make a correction here before we go any further. PJ Walker, I think I named an NBA player. PJ Walker.
PJ Tucker from the Rockets, dude.
Yeah, seven touchdowns. Seven touchdowns.
You said PJ Walker just incredible.
No. PJ Walker, 7 touchdowns.
Am I wrong?
I didn't hear that, but it's funny if you did.
Isn't Justin Credible's real name PJ Walker?
Let me look.
Let's Google that.
I am right now. PJ Polacco.
Oh, all right.
Close.
PJ Black.
But yeah, I think it's going to be Houston, DC in the title game. PJ Walker, his real name's Philip. Phil. Him and Cardale are definitely setting themselves above. I mean, those 2 games on Sunday, those 4 quarter. I posted this on Twitter. The QB ratings were atrocious. Only.
Well, when you have Landry Jones as your quarterback, you're gonna just deal with what you got. Sorry, Dallas.
As Matt's a Steelers fan, he's had to put up with Landry Jones before.
Yeah, I'm happy he's not our problem anymore.
Sunday's games were a lot better. But overall, I feel like there is viability in the XFL. I'm being honest here. In week 2,
I've enjoyed what I've seen.
I mean, you gotta have some type of consistency because the what was the AAF, AFL, whatever the hell it was.
AAF. Yeah.
Yeah, the AAF. It had some consistency for the first 2 weeks, but after that, it was dog shit. Yeah. So you gotta make sure you keep the audience involved.
Thing was, they were gaining viewers as the games went on, so that's a big storyteller right there, at least.
And the XFL has trended on Twitter both weekends, whereas I never saw the AAF trend at all. So
there's a lot to like of this XFL compared to any of the other startup leagues that have happened, and of course the XFL XFL in the past was Vince trying to bring the Attitude Era to football.
He hate me
and put a middle finger to the NFL.
He hate me.
I liked somebody posted.
I don't hate you, Darryl. I love you like a brother.
I appreciate.
Somebody posted this on social media. They should say the worst team in the NFL should take on the champions of the XFL, and if the NFL team loses, they get demoted down to the XFL.
Damn, the Bears gonna play.
Dude, that'd be fun. That'd be funny as shit.
Bears ain't even close to the worst team in the NFL, bitch. Fuck.
Come on, Bengals.
Yeah. How did Philly do in the playoffs this year?
Better than you guys.
But yeah,
we beat the Chicago Bears ass.
Yeah, that's because we just can't get a guy that can't fucking kick.
Should have never got rid of Robbie Gould, dumbass.
No, they shouldn't have. What do you think about the rules, Matt? Like the kickoff rules.
I like the rules.
That kickoff part is pretty weird.
I like it for safety reasons, and I don't think it takes anything away from the game. I also like the fact you don't have to have 2 feet down to fucking confirm a catch. Just get 1 fucking foot down. That's all you fucking need.
College rules, brother.
It's exciting. The kickoff is exciting the way it is. It doesn't take away from the excitement at all. I love the immediate interview, especially on a kicker that misses a field goal.
that bothers me.
I like the interviews too. I also like the 1, 2, and 3 point choices after the touchdown.
I can appreciate that. I hate that they have the mics on the coaches when they're calling plays and stuff like that. That bothers me.
Well, a lot of the plays are.
I know the coaches don't like it.
Yeah. The thing is, though, a lot of the if you listen in, a lot of those a lot of it's generic terminology. I mean, it's not really anything different than what you're going to see, the other teams are going to see on tape later on. I mean, they're going to figure things out, and you got to adjust, as you always got to do in football.
Help them out?
Yeah, I don't think it's really helping them out much, though. It's a lot of those plays that's general terminology that's being. It's not. I don't think it's really helping the other opponents out at all by having that live. I really don't. Who thought we would talk about the XFL this much? Hey, it's not bad. I mean,
Vince.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
He was hoping to God we would talk about it.
Everybody's going to be talking about the XFL.
Nah, you concentrate on Super Showdown.
Is Houston in the West? That's the big question. Because it's obviously the East versus the West in the championship game.
Yeah, I don't know how they. I don't
Obviously,
know how the divisions line out.
obviously DC's in the East. We hope so. Yes, they are both. They are in separate divisions, Houston and DC,
Well,
and they're the only two undefeated teams right now as well.
Yeah.
I got a vested interest in St. Louis because they got a former Nebraska star in at wide receiver, DeMornay Pearsonell. Who they also got another receiver, Brandon Riley, but he had a couple of catches.
hey, Mark Henry colored in his beard.
Is it on already?
They just had a quick cut in.
Let me.
It said it was coming up next, and Mark's beard is no longer gray.
Oh man.
Maybe he borrowed the Just for Men from Bobby Fish.
That's why Bobby Fish's beard was fucked up. Mark Henry stole his Just for Men.
How much fish can Bobby Fish fry? If Bobby Fish could fry fish.
Here's an example that just because you're in the professional wrestling industry, and on a brand that people know, doesn't mean you're making a lot of money. Unfortunately, NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa was involved in a hit and run accident and is selling gear to raise money to fix her car. I mean,
She don't have car insurance.
it was a hit and run. So I don't know. It depends on what kind of insurance you have too. I mean,
Oh, she doesn't have the general.
Oh God.
Old Shaq in the general. This is some cool news. El Hijo del Fantasma, or if you watched Lucha Underground, King Cuerno, he's going to be making his NXT debut this weekend at a live show in Fort Pierce. He'll be teaming with Raul Mendoza. That guy's talented, so excited to see him in the fold there. As we had mentioned, Double or Nothing pay-per-view tickets on sale already. No word on how much has been sold already. I don't know. Have you heard anything, Matt?
I haven't done any research now.
One gentleman in the world of professional wrestling has called out Matt Hardy to have a match with him, and it is none other than PCO. Him and PCO have had a little back and forth on Twitter. So, we mentioned Kathy Kelly leaving the WWE. Sad day. She gave notice that she wanted to leave the company. Company respected the decision. She put in her notice a few weeks ago. The company has not released her. She was with the company since 2016 after starting her professional wrestling career with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Wow, Greg Olson signed with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
today.
1-year deal.
Wow.
WWE is going to make history in Saudi Arabia with the women's title going to be on the line. Bayley is defending her title at the Super Shitdown show on 220. You okay there, Darryl?
Super shit down.
I've been saying it.
Say that.
I've been saying it for 3 straight weeks. I've never said the official title of the pay-per-view.
I know. That's why it gets me every time.
I still like what Fightful calls it.
What do they call it?
Sands of Time.
Vince's blood money.
It's too hardcore.
Carmella and Naomi going one-on-one on SmackDown this Friday to determine Bayley's opponent, which we all expect to be Naomi at this point since Carmella just had her chance. All of the following were reported to be backstage at NXT TakeOver Portland by Mike Johnson. Let's see who was used. Charlotte Flair, yeah, check. Reina Gonzalez, yep, check. Candice LeRae, not used. Swerve, not used. Shane Thorne, not used. I only say this because I laugh, but Joe Koff has a message, and you can go to @Ring of Honor from February 16th to watch Joe Koff's message.
This was aired before Free Enterprise. It's not like it's new.
Why gotta even mention his name, knowing that I'm gonna cuss his ass out?
Because we all know what you're gonna say.
When I watched him say the message, all I could think of was Darryl the entire time.
I don't even know why I'm saying fuck him anymore.
I mean, if we ever get big enough to where we have our own store, I mean, we're obviously having Fuck Joe Koff t-shirts sold. So
Yes, he's gonna sue the shit out of us.
Okay, we'll put fuck Joseph Koff then. How do you know we're talking about you, eh?
No, I'm just gonna say fuck Hokoff. Just gonna call my hoe. You silly hoe.
FJK.
FJK sure.
There it is. Matt, you trademark it.
It's our FTW. Or FTR, I mean.
It's our FTR. That's what I say. It's our FTR.
It can be our FTW too.
Anything on the show ever. Hashtag FJK.
During an appearance on Lillian Garcia's podcast, Shelton Benjamin revealed that he has signed a new multi-year contract with WWE. So he's got that 5-year money. Or 3-year money. I think they've given some veterans 3-year money.
Or joke off.
As we mentioned, a very stupid Elimination Chamber match announced for the pay-per-view on March 8th. It'll be Shayna Baszler who wins, and then Asuka, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Natalya, Ruby Riott. Like I said, it's funny that the former Riot Squad is all in the match. Hey, Ring of Honor's women's division took a hit, as if they haven't taken a hit since it was developed. Their latest and biggest signing, Maria Maniac, suffered a concussion during the Free Enterprise event. No regular edition of NWA Power this week, as instead they will debut the Circle Squared show, which is going to designed to introduce new talents to the WWE or NWA. I'm sorry. The concept is to feature a couple of matches on the broadcast, and then just see how the audience responds to the talents. They will also, I believe, be able to give promos and stuff, and basically it's the fans' say on who gets signed in the NWA.
Meh.
And speaking of, I'll give it a chance at least. I mean, Power's been great, so. And speaking of
Power's decline with me with the loss of Into the Fire.
Oh, not a fan of Pantera, huh?
I do not. I don't like the track for the show. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, Into the Fire was a great.
Into the Fire was the perfect song, and like people were still talking about if you go down and look through the Power comments on YouTube, there's a lot of people talking about how they prefer the old song. And I just feel it was a perfect song that was set up with that show, and yeah. I don't feel the Pantera song fits at all.
Maybe it was licensed, maybe out of their control. Who knows?
Well, regardless, it sucks.
Granted, Dokken hasn't really been relevant for a long time. Probably since the Dream Warriors Nightmare on Elm Street 3 movie. But speaking of the NWA, Stu Bennett will be at WrestleCon on WrestleMania weekend. As I mentioned, the latest edition of the Steve Austin Show features Rob Van Dam. I'm sure there's going to be some talk about that sex scene. For those that are into the collectibles edition, Heavy Machinery gets their first sets of wrestling action figures, and a new line of WWE Pop Funko Pops have come out. Thugonomics, John Cena, The Miz, and Mean Gene Okerlund. You ever watch the Ryder and Hawkins YouTube show, where they go to all sorts of toy stores and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good stuff.
If you're in the grocery store, go by that frozen food section, because there is word that the Good Humor ice cream bars are on the shelves.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going tomorrow.
He's going right now. Bye.
Talk to you guys later.
And the final bit of information we will close with is the Crockett Cup officially is going to be held on Sunday, April 19th from the Gateway Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Bigger than the GBP Studios. This arena has a capacity of 5,000 people, and it'll be held on the same night as Impact Wrestling's Rebellion pay-per-view. So I don't think there's going to be much competition, though.
Nope.
Of course, the headliner there is Marty Scurll, Nick Aldis for the NWA World's Heavyweight title, as well as the Crockett Cup tournament. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. We'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you have to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. Also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. as well as our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. As we wrap this up and ride off into the sunset and look forward to the go-home shows of Super Shitdown. Yeah, right. Darryl, what are your final thoughts?
Fuck Joe Koff.
Any other final thoughts?
Motherfuck Joe Koff.
Okay, thank you. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Let's hope for a good night of wrestling with AEW and NXT tomorrow night.
So we sure need
tonight.
it. We sure need it.
So
it's been a big yawn fest leading up to Super Shitdown. Which, hey, we don't care about Super Shitdown, so go figure.
Hold on, when is that? Is that next Thursday?
Week from Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Probably 1 o'clock your time. Maybe around there.
I won't be watching either way. I'm just going to pretty much be listening to you guys talk about it on the pod next week.
Shit, I don't know if I'll watch. I mean, I might fast forward through it, see what I want to see, but fuck. I'm not excited for it. Matt, you? Yeah, exactly. For Darryl Bullock, Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We'll be back at you next week.